Where are we? Watch this, boys?
I was saying, should we do that or should we do an ad first?
I think there's not that much Watch This, boys, so maybe we should do that.
Okay. Sounds good.
And it's all you, basically. I don't think I've watched anything that's... I'm just continuing to watch shows like that I've been talking about.
I mean, I watched the season finale of SNL. So for those who hate the SNL talk, there's not going to be any again until October. So it was...
Wait. I have to interrupt you. Mm-hmm. Gamer Interface just donated $78.83.
Nice. Does he have a comment?
Hi is his comment.
Nice. So I watched it. It was Anya Taylor-Joy. It was very good. There are rumors that it might be a lot of people's final episode. I'm going to say it's most likely Cecily Strong's last episode.
It's not your final episode.
Not my final episode. She did.
The longest cast member.
Yeah. That would be Kenan Thompson. And yeah, she did a really funny bit on Weekend Update. Actually, Weekend Update all around was one of the strongest, probably the strongest of the year. It was really funny. All of it. And it was
the show was the strongest of the year, you just said?
Actually, that episode might have been the strongest of the year. There was some really funny stuff on it.
Okay.
It's worth you guys watching. So
why?
I don't know, because I think it's funny.
That episode, I thought about watching it.
Yeah,
if it's good, I'll watch
might
it.
like it. Yeah, it's a good
episode. Who's the host?
Anya Taylor-Joy. The Queen's
Who?
Gambit.
Who's that?
Queen's Gambit girl.
Oh, I like her.
Yeah,
I like that show.
Yep, people seem to have liked it as well. It was a good one. Yeah, watch the Weekend Update if anything. That's on you. It's all on YouTube. You don't have to go very far.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I also watched. I watched all of season 1 of MODOK.
You watched it, so I texted you. I'm like, oh, I just watched the first episode of MODOK, and this was like on Sunday morning.
I witnessed this, by the way.
Yes, it's Sunday morning. Yeah,
Sunday morning, and your message back was, I watched all of it,
mm-hmm.
and I quickly did the math, and that show came out on Friday.
Yes, it did.
And if I gave you the full benefit of the doubt of the 3 days,
yes,
I calculated that you spent 10% of your waking hours watching MODOK.
I mean, that's
when
reasonable.
It came out and when I texted.
Not reasonable that I did it, but reasonable amount of time. Like, it's a reasonable guess, not a reasonable thing to do with your life. You know what the crazy thing is? That's
yes.
In between me having spent 4 hours in a mall,
yes,
going out to dinner one of those nights. It was a jam-packed weekend. There was tennis lessons. There was the theater lessons for Sabrina. It was like a whole full weekend. But when Elliot, I told Elliot that if he wanted to watch it, we'd give it a shot. It's he's probably a little too young.
I was just gonna say, isn't every joke over his head just from watching the trailer?
It's you know what it is. It's like bloody, but it's also like puppets bloody.
I don't mean the bloody part. Isn't it like Robot Chicken, where the jokes are like very fast?
It's exactly Robot Chicken.
It's made by the Robot Chicken people.
Okay, so it's very fast and
kind of.
But you need to know like a lot of references and stuff, or
you got to know how divorce works.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, it's not that. It really wasn't that inappropriate for him. I mean, again, if you're a parent, use your own judgment. And I'm not saying it's great for every 10-year-old, but for Elliot, it was fine.
Is it good for me? How about for me?
Do you like Robot Chicken?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Really it.
Would you like one skit of Robot Chicken to last an entire season of TV?
I feel like I have a chance at watching this because Mrs. Cheapy likes Patton Oswalt.
So, I would say the first episode is not the best. It picks up on like the third episode.
10th episode, it really kicks into gear.
But there's 10 episodes. They're 21 minutes each or so. They're not that long.
I'll have to see because I don't know. We're running out of stuff to watch.
I'll watch one more episode. I'll give it one more episode.
There's a heist episode, and that one I thought was probably the strongest. Where
you always think the heist episode is the strongest.
I do, where he teams up with a bunch of C-list supervillains, which is an homage to an actual comic book. MODOK 7, I think was the comic, which was already a satire of Ocean's 11. So it's like a satire of a satire,
Yes.
but it works.
Yes.
And here's what's interesting about the MODOK show. So there's also a MODOK comic book miniseries that came out this year. It's a 4-issue miniseries. The first 3 issues are on Marvel Unlimited, and those issues were also written by Patton Oswalt, who's also the co-creator of the show as well as the voice of MODOK. And the comic book is significantly better than the show.
Nice.
So, yeah. Like it's a different
I'm gonna not
tone.
so don't do either. Just
I mean,
both.
the comic book it's just a different tone. Like it's a little more serious yet still funny. I don't want to say it's darker is what makes it better. It's not like the darkness thing. It's telling a better story and a more cohesive. It's not jokey. It's not trying to be Robot Chicken. It's trying to be a Marvel comic, and it works a lot better.
Right. Shipwreck, have you watched more for All Mankind?
I have. We are well into the first season now. Like we're on episode 8, I believe.
Okay. I got to watch that, right?
It's good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay. I'm going to watch
it. It's got the right level. Like the last episode we watched was just like full on depressing. So you're going to be into that one.
How about for Ty? It's not good for Ty.
He might like it.
Right. Okay.
There's nothing too inappropriate there. It might be too slow for Ty. I don't know. I'm not sure how interested he is in drama.
Yeah, probably not very. I think I'm going to watch that without him.
You know what I watched?
Yes, I do, because it's on this list right here.
I know. I watched Those Who Wish Me Dead, starring Angelina Jolie.
I saw that's playing in my local movie theater and also on HBO Max.
Yeah, you don't have to do either.
I looked up the reviews and it looked like a lot of these HBO Max movies are not too good.
Not too hot.
Like this one,
like Tom and Jerry. Up. So, yeah. I mean,
you guys have noticed that the HBO Max movies are not too hot. Huh?
I did notice that.
You know what? And I was like, and I'm the idiot who's like, and I watched it on Tuesday night by myself. I'm like, you know what? I had like a lousy day, and I'm like, I just want to watch a dumb movie, and that movie's only an hour and 40 minutes, and I'm like, this is an hour and 40 minutes. I'm gonna just watch this dumb Angelina Jolie movie. It was all
out of MODOK.
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to do now?
Exactly. So I watched it. It's a little depressing for me. Maybe a little too depressing.
It's not a dumb action movie. I just assumed it's a dumb action movie.
I thought it was going to be more dumb action, but it's like it tries hard to be more than a dumb action movie. There's like, if it was a dumb action movie, it probably would have been better. There's a lot of like, for a movie that's supposed to be realistic, there are certain like, why would someone do that? Like the basic premise of the movie, I don't understand why. Why are you going from Florida to Montana? Like, why? There are so many like
people have done that before.
To get I understand that, but in the context of the film, also, without spoiling too much, one of the most important things in the movie is a piece of paper because of what's written on the piece of paper, and the piece of paper gets wet, not just wet, but consistently wet for about 12 hours. And apparently the piece of paper is still fine after being submerged underwater for 12 hours.
Was it laminated?
I do not believe it was. It was just a folded up piece of paper.
Office Depot's offering free lamination of your vaccination card.
Yeah, see? They should have gone there and it would have been fine. They could have been like, yeah, that was my vaccination card too. Just laminate it for me, please. But no. The whole movie is all about getting their hands on this piece of paper, and someone's underwater for 12 hours with the piece of paper.
Sounds dumb.
Declaration of Independence.
I just want to know, like, okay, Shipwreck, you're an engineer. If you had a piece of paper in your pocket with pen writing on it, and you submerged it for 12
this is a very
hours.
engineer-based question. I like this.
Do you think the piece of paper would like, what would happen when you tried to unfold that piece of paper?
I have the answer how to do it. You shove that thing right up your asshole. I think it's gonna be.
I mean,
dry as a bone.
is that what happened?
Dry as a bone. Smelly.
Should I just assume so I could like get on with my life from this movie?
Meanwhile,
maybe it was shoved up his butt and that's why it was fine.
Yes, Beelzebub donated $79, and he says that $1 was bothering me. So I guess he's rounding up the donation total.
Not $66.
We're at $1,100. Thank you, Beelzebub.
Beelzebub.
13. Thank you, Satan.
Satan.
I forgot I watched the movie on HBO Max. That was good, but it wasn't released in theaters, I don't think. So that's why it's pretty good. It's pretty good, actually. It's a documentary called, okay, I forgot what it's called. I think it's called Lucy the Human Chimp. I wrote down Lucy the Human Gorilla, and I know that's wrong.
No, it's a chimpanzee.
Yeah, it's Lucy the Human Chimp, I think. And it's a documentary about what would happen if a human couple take a chimp from its mother, like a newborn, like 1 or 2 days old, from its mother and raise it in their house like a human. And when I say like a human, I mean it lives in the house. They feed it like fucking coffee and, oatmeal and shit, like regular human food and all that.
Why were they giving an infant coffee?
Well, I think maybe once it got a little older, they went for the coffee. But why were they giving it chimpanzee coffee as supposed to be?
Does the chimp shit on the toilet?
I don't think so. I think it was wearing I don't know about that. They didn't talk about the shitting part, actually, believe it or not.
So really? That's like number one question.
Because what happens is, I mean, I don't want to ruin.
This is like the piece of paper in the water.
No. This is a documentary. This really happened. So this is not.
I understand that, but this is again.
So these people seem like jerks. Why did they take their chimpanzee?
They were doctors. First of all, they were they're doctors. They're scientists.
You can be a jerk.
You can be a jerk and a doctor. I mean, most doctors are.
I think they thought. I don't know what they thought. They thought that if they raised this chimp as their daughter, then it would.
They wouldn't remember their daughter that was killed. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you say? What?
two different directions in the jokes.
Yeah, same joke. Two different ways of telling it.
Anyway. Holy shit! Major Gamer Geek just donated $100.
Nice.
100 U.S. clams. Thank you, Major. We salute you. So what happens is, I don't want to ruin the movie, but I'll give you a little taste of what happens. I mean, what do you think happens? They adopt a chimpanzee. Okay, it lives in their house with them. They feed it regular food. It's an infant when they adopt it, like literally like 2 days old. Someone loses a face?
Does someone lose a face?
No, nobody loses a face.
Does someone lose a testicle?
No. It's not about. I'm asking you, like, what do you think would happen? I mean, just you're a normal person that knows about like what a chimpanzee is generally. What do you think happens if you put it in your house?
It just acts like a person, I guess. I don't know. It's a chimpanzee.
It acts like a chimpanzee in your house.
But it's big, and it's right. It gets big.
Exactly.
It gets big, and also it gets horny because and so eventually they're like, all right, it can't live in the house.
Have you not seen Friends?
No, is that happened?
This is what happened to Marcel.
Oh, it got too horny?
Yeah.
Oh man. But Marcel is tiny. This thing was big. This thing was rearranging the furniture like every minute. Like it would just be like, oh, time to move the couch to the other side of the room. Anyway, they basically try to get the thing back to nature, which is like you took it from nature. It wasn't in nature. It was in like a zoo.
In conclusion, the doctors were dicks.
Yeah. They don't. There's no way.
The documentary was. It was not Lucy the Human. It was doctors.
It was
dicks.
It was basically what the fuck were you thinking? And they wrote a book about it. The doctors wrote a book.
Of course they did. Yeah, they're making money off of this. It was a terrible idea.
It was such a bad idea. And I don't want to ruin the movie because I reckon it's actually like 80 minutes or so. It's a great length. So I don't want to tell you. I left plenty unsaid so far.
But how come Shipwreck and I both know this is a bad idea and these doctors didn't?
I know that's what's and they don't when you watch this movie, no, that's never like brought up. That's for you to just come up with on your own. They don't spit that out.
What hypothesis were they trying to like prove here? It doesn't seem like there's much science involved here at all.
It was weird. And it was like 10 years.
They lived with it pet chimpanzee.
They lived with Lucy for like 10 years. In their house. It's crazy. Anyway, Lucy the Human Chimpanzee.
Bubbles lived with Michael Jackson for like 15.
Lucy's much bigger though.
I don't know. Bubbles was pretty big.
And Michael Jackson had a lot more space available.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's it. Oh no, there's some news item here for Watch This Boys. Amazon bought MGM Studios for $8.5 billion for James Bond. Most of that James Bond.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like how many times I see the MGM logo.
It's mostly James Bond, but they don't have creative control over James Bond.
Only the family does, right?
Eon, yeah, the Broccoli's. The Broccoli's maintain creative control.
Yep.
So, I mean, don't get me wrong, they can still make a lot of money from it.
Sure.
But they don't get a say in who is James Bond. They won't be able to go direct to streaming with the movies because that's part of the Broccoli's contract is all James Bond movies have to open worldwide
simultaneously, right?
Simultaneously, yeah.
It's an event. I remember reading, there was a big article about that, right? What was that in? Because I remember reading that. It was like a huge expose on the James Bond business. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was pretty interesting.
They're an interesting family. I've read up on Cubby Broccoli and Barbara Broccoli and Michael Wilson and that whole thing. The Broccoli's, yes. Cubby passed away like 25 years ago, but yes.
So Amazon owns RoboCop now.
Mm-hmm.
They hopefully don't fuck with that too much.
But they're just going to put it on their streaming service and be done with it.
It already is. It's been on the streaming service.
They're already done with it then.
Yeah, they're already there.